Let's go ahead and jump down to round 6. I set it up, and it is indeed Uzuri versus Lexi. Both players, one loss, both players trying to make it in the top 8. If someone wins here, they're probably in the top 8. They're probably locked in at 5-1, ready to go. So this is going to be a make or break win and in matchup. Let's see who chooses to go first, how this game plays out.
All right, well, it's Lexi versus Uzuri. I think that a lot of people sort of lean towards Uzuri in this particular matchup. It's going to be hard for Lexi to give up some of the arrows that she wants to fire, and if she kind of lets something slide, one of those stealth attacks that just gets swapperooed for something a little bit more devastating, the worst case scenario is command and conquer. You do not want that to get switched in for something nasty. So the question is, how many of these attacks is Lexi ultimately going to respect? And not only that, but the well timing. At a certain point, you're going to have to say, well, I got a great hand. I'm just going to have to take the gamble. And that can be dangerous.
You can also look at something like swapping in a death touch to give a frailty token so that all the arrows get -1, which can just represent like 4 value, 3 value, 4 value just on the face of it. And I mean, it really also depends on how we're playing this out, like what we're doing in this matchup and what we've built as far as our Uzuri deck, because there are some Uzuri decks that are playing a lot more low to the ground, a lot less swapping, but I feel like this is a matchup where you really do want to swap and punish.
Well, not only that, but what about an inertia token? What about Codex of Inertia? What about Codex of Frailty? These are all cards that Lexi likes to employ to effectuate her strategy, but at the same time, Uzuri's just there saying, I got access to the same kind of nonsense as you do.
Yeah. Scale Peeler alongside Spider's Bite, going to be the 2 daggers of choice here, and we are sending the Remorseless on turn 0.
Yes, Remorseless defense reactions cannot be played from Arsenal to that particular chain link, but beyond that...
Hey, that's a card that we don't see very often.
Oh, which one? Lightning Press.
That's the one. Lightning Press says, oh no, I still get to connect here. It is a rare turn 0 Lightning Press. That's something almost never included, but here might make for a little bit of a scare going forward when we want to try and block advantageously on Nick's side.
Worth putting a Scale Peeler up on the map over there if you can, Ethan, if possible, because this Spider's Bite, that'll mean if it hits, attack actions are going to be -1 on the block, but Scale Peeler means that equipment is will not get a minus here. So the interesting aspect here is that typically Lexi's not a equipment blocking style hero, so Scale Peeler is an interesting choice versus something like Orbitoclast or another Spider's Bite or something along those lines. It might just be that Nick just has these two daggers.
Well, I think Scale Peeler does have some utility in the super late game when they're finally like, okay, fine, I'm going to block with my equipment. I'm going to block with like New Horizon on an advantageous turn where I have a 4-card hand and I can try to win the game. All of a sudden, that Scale Peeler comboed with Flick Knives means that you just say, no, you can't make that easy block at the end of the game. So here comes a Falcon Wing for 2 because of Frailty, and that's a thing that exists in the game, and that is really, really good for Nick because it means that he doesn't have to respect certain attacks, but, just going to counter it with Rain Razors and just back to 4.
It's fascinating to see the return of something like the Lightning Press, but a lot of the sort of tricks to this would be that, but hey, let's just meet that with a trap. Why not?
And we do it with Frailty Trap, which triggers here and makes a second Frailty token. And now all of the arrows are +2'd and -2'd from the activation of Rain Razors. So this is just a casual searing shot for 5.
Oh, it's kind of even Steven, right? Everything gets kind of back to normal, as it were.
Yeah.
The +1 off of the Voltaire, the -2 from the Frailty, the +2 from the Rain Razors. This is math that I don't want to do. Ultimately, a Sink Below is going to sort of help out here. At the end of the day, Nick at 34, Callahan at 34.
Parity in life, but a 5-card hand for the Lexi player, the best deck in the format, and Uzuri, the upstart, the dark horse, always lurking in the shadows as an assassin, trying to make the upset happen, and a fairly good matchup. And wow, especially when you draw like this, give another Codex of Frailty, give another Frailty token, go and get Death Touch with the resource floating.
Is that yellow Death Touch?
Yellow Death Touch for 5.
All right, well, yellow Death Touch. So there's a lot of Death Touches in this because usually you want to rock those reds. Nonetheless, Death Touch, if this hits, gives the opportunity. Do you want a Frailty, Inertia, or a Blood Rot token? We mentioned Frailty being a great option. In this case, Inertia can be good because you already have one, but he's going for the throat here. He already has the Frailty established, so he's going for a Blood Rot token, meaning that at the end of the turn for Callahan, he has to either pay 3 or take 2 for the Blood Rot.
Yeah, it basically ends up representing like a 7 attack death touch because it was a 5 attack on base, but then if you're not keeping the resources for it and slowing your own turn down, then you're just paying no resources and losing 2 more on top of it. But he's gonna, let's see, load up with Voltaire. Choosing the old +1 perhaps? Maybe favoring that the fact that he might want to pay, but I don't know if he has the resources in hand. I don't think he has a blue, but he's gonna send the Heat Seeker.
Hater. -1 from the Frailty.
He's maybe cooking up something here. Heatseeker was loaded, I believe, last. So, yeah, last turn. So he's going to Snapdragon Scalers this so that he can send that Heatseeker for 5. And now or 4, excuse me, it has go again. It's nerfed by the Frailty token. Unfortunately, when you load the Bolton shot and give it +1, the Frailty token says -1 and says no go-go. So yeah. I think there was a little misplay there.
Tough on that one. And in this case, well, yeah, you're going to have to throw this out there, and we're going to, with the second activation of the bow, likely with another +1.
Yeah,
with the -1.
That's a pretty big change. He's going to load go again, and he's going to then most likely end with Arctic Incarceration, unless he wants to maybe Arsenal it and then flip it and then play it on his own turn. But his turn is going to be a little, yeah, he's going to play it out. That says Frailty. I thought that said Frosty.
Oh, good old Frosty.
Delicious.
I think they're 99 cents until like October 15th at Wendy's.
Delicious.
So a Frostbite token given to Nick over here, and he's not done yet. He's going to have to pitch to this and bottom a card. So quite an expensive endeavor, but it's still 7 damage. And we can see a little bit why this Uzuri is so nasty. A lot of the Frailty tokens, a lot of the same tricks that the Lexi player tosses to their opponent is being thrown back in spades here. But we haven't seen any Uzuri activations. We haven't seen any of those smoke and mirrors switcheroo plays yet.
No, we have not. But we do see 2 Rain Razors in the hand of Callahan here, and that does save him a little bit as far as the Bolton shot is concerned. He can actually just lead out with Bolton shot if he wanted to, and then Rain Razors it to get the buff and the go again. I think that is a sussed out play. That is something that you can look at and go, okay, that's face up. There's no reason you keep a 4-card hand and start with Bolton shot without some way of giving it go again. You already popped the boots, so at this point, you're literally just telling me that you have some way of buffing it. So it's either a Lightning Press or a Rain Razors across the turn. So basically, he knows this.
He knows that there's a twist to this story, and he's just content to say, well, you're going to do it anyways. I don't know how else I'm going to sort of deal with this, but it does actually hit. So he does get a free reload from the Bolton shot because the value is higher. Opting not to, however, because you want to make use of the Voltaire. So saying, I don't need it because I want to get the plus value or the go again value from Voltaire. This case, it's going to be +1 from Voltaire for the Falcon Wing and the 2 from Rain Razor. 6 go again for Red Falcon Wing.
Yeah, Red Falcon Wing's coming across. It wasn't a double Rain Razors, just one more. And that was the Falcon Wing that looked very similar in respect. But he's going to use the Crown of Providence here, maybe copying out that Arsenal card to set up a 5-card hand. But we are not caring too much about blocking this incidental damage. We don't care about blocking and giving a free reload. They already have 2 activations on Voltaire. There's no point in them reloading when they can get a benefit off of Voltaire, the pushed weapon from Tales of Aria. And this is why now we block the thing that actually matters and that has an on-hit effect. If it's a Heat Seeker, we don't want them to have an Arsenal. In this case, it was just a simple blue infecting shot.
We're not even 5 minutes into this game, and both players already at beyond half their life totals gone. Oh no, what a terrible hand.
Callahan looks down at his hand and goes, did I shuffle? Did I shuffle this? All of a sudden, I've got Ice Quake, and another Ice Quake. We've hit the triplicate.
Okay, well, Nick's happy to see this, how this goes. Oh, and a Codex of Frailty. This is going to be brutal.
These players are speed running. They're winning in for round 6 here into the top 8.
What are you loading up over here in your arsenal?
You have one floating, and if you do have one floating, then you're just going to send out the Command and Conquer, or sorry, send out the Death Touch so that you can push for 5. He's going to Tunic.
Honestly, here, there's a good chance that if you're sending this, he's going with the Frailty. Okay, Frailty from the Codex of Frailty. He's given a Blood Rot, so he's actually going for the throat. There was a consideration here to go with the.
We took his whole hand, so at this point you can't pitch into the 2
Nothing,
damage.
yeah,
so
there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
just go for it. Get the damage out. Why not? I mean, this Falcon Wing is going to potentially hit for 3. I would probably just hang on to it. Just avoid the frailty token. Like, why would you even want to send it out there? Just flip it over maybe and pass. Yeah, take 2 more damage. Look at this. Nick has been relentless in terms of damage here. Not opting for any of the more flashy plays. He wants to go for the throat here, given the blood rots where they are. Those death touches have done incredible work. And again, Scale Peeler. Opening with Scale Peeler, I would imagine that there's actually going to be a Spider's Bite to follow this up as well.
Yeah, when you start with the Scale Peeler, you lead with the second one. You never want to go Spider's Bite into Scale Peeler, because if Spider's Bite is allowed to hit, you can actually block with a negative Scale Peeler, or block on the Scale Peeler with a negative attack action card, and then you're not getting that benefit as the Uzuri player. So you go in this order, and then after they've let the Spider Bite hit and their attack action cards block for 1 less, now they have to give you a 3-card hand, and if they don't, then this Death Touch just connects.
A nice full art death touch. I believe those were given out. Was that an Outsiders pre-release?
I think there were Armory promos, actually.
Take 4? Yeah.
Oh, PC Baltimore, right? Yeah, there you go.
I'll give you...
Something like that. Yeah, very nice cards again. Very, very cool art, cool card indeed. That was a card. I think Death Touch is one of those cards that when you're playing like Sealed or Draft or whatever, those are very coveted. I love drafting the Death Touches. All right, well, a frailty token still. Again, Nick has been relentless. You know, Callahan, unfortunately, has had a tough go here, finding the 3 Ice Cake Quakes at the same time. Ice Cakes also. Ice Cakes, you would probably prefer Ice Cakes at this time. The Quakes, though.
Ice Cake versus Ice Quake, I would take the Ice Cake, but how good is a frailty token? Well, it basically says Bolt and Shot is not a card, and that is really good, because Bolt and Shot, it's predicated upon giving it +1, and when Voltaire can't do that, you have to do stuff like this. Pre-med into a 6-power Bolt and Shot, and you're just crossing your fingers, and they don't give you the value, and then you just pass, and now you have your 1 arsenal, and Uzuri's playing their very efficient 2-card hand plus arsenal. That's just what Uzuri does, man.
And there goes the Tunic up to 3, and are we going to finally see a stealth attack? We do.
The suspicious play. We've got Infect here. Infect is coming across as stealth, but it's a 3 damage. What could be in the back pocket that could be switched in, and how much does Callahan respect it? Answer, probably should respect it some. It's sitting at 9, but it's just going to block the 1 here.
This gives a Blood Rot on hit. I mean, there's a situation here where maybe Nick says, I don't even want to switch a room. Maybe I just want to give you a Blood Rot.
I don't know. I think we always play the switch. If we got something good, we switch into it, and we get that. Oh, no. You are correct. Look, he's going to snap on it. He's going to give him the Blood Rot. Does he have? He has 1 floating.
Incredible.
No, I don't think he has 1 floating.
There's nobody has a Tunic.
Oh, the Flick Knife. So it deals 3 here.
Yeah, so you take...
Filthy. In response on the stack, the Scale Peeler dealing the 1, meaning that Hornet's Sting doesn't really block. And here is another Infect. In fact, 1.
That's Infect from Arsenal. But
For
this
1.
is another reason for you to respect the play. Now, the Scale Peeler here.
This blocks
actually,
1.
Yeah, he's going to flip it. Shaking it down. Look at him shake it down.
And deal 4.
Oh, my goodness.
He's going to take the red card. He's going to hit him for 4 down to 2.
We've talked about this all weekend long. When a hero comes in and just kind of does a little razzle-dazzle, really puts on a show like Uzuri's doing right now, this is the kind of play that inspires people to pick up a hero. This is Uzuri absolutely dunking on what is the King of the Hill type list of this Lexi, which is incredible. But hey, maybe there's a comeback story here to be had. We're going to open up with the Rain Razors, but take a look at that Blood Rot Pox right over here. This, well, no, not that. That's
a shepherd's crook.
Yeah, that's the Big Dipper. This here is Blood Rot just aiming so beautifully at this one, which means that Callahan unfortunately has to either finish the deal here or pay for it.
Yeah, I think he's going to just pay for it. Let's see. Well, can he pay for it? Did he just play that Rain Razors? Oh, he's going to send the Remorseless floating 1.
Oh, sorry, you have a pawn drive. This game's over.
Yeah, you hear him. He's like, this game's over.
This game's over.
All right.
At this life deficit and the ability to just threaten the switch every single turn, it's just, he's going to close it out.
Love this.
Take 4.
Ponder, Frailty.
Blood Rot.
Well, you get...
And that did it.
Hey, we have time to can we try that new one we recorded?
Congratulations to Nick for picking it up on Uzuri's Switchblade.